Just beneath the surface of our oceans, there's a world we were never really meant to see. It's a place with crushing pressure, eternal darkness, and life that takes on forms that honestly defy imagination. So let's dive in together into this hidden universe and explore its secrets, one layer at a time. Okay, get ready for this, because it's a wild fact. Humanity has explored less than 5% of our own planet's oceans. I mean, really think about that. We have rovers on Mars, we've mapped galaxies light years away, but the vast majority of our own world, it's still a complete mystery. And that quote just says it all, doesn't it? It really puts things into perspective. We're about to journey into what is, for all intents and purposes, Earth's final frontier, a place that's filled with more aliens than we could ever dream of finding in outer space. All right, our descent starts now into what's called the Twilight Zone. We're going between 200 and 1,000 meters down. This is where the world as we know it just starts to fade away. So here we are, 200 meters down. The sun's powerful rays are now just this faint, ghostly glow. It's way too weak to power photosynthesis. So that whole foundation of life on the surface, plants and plankton creating energy from light, that's just gone. So how does anything possibly survive down here? Well, the answer actually drifts down from above. It's this constant, gentle shower of organic stuff. They call it marine snow. And for the creatures living here, this isn't waste. It's everything. It's the very basis of their entire food web. It's literally life itself, sustaining a whole ecosystem in the dark. Okay, so with food being so scarce and the light just vanishing, survival becomes this high-stakes game of shadows and light. And in this strange, shimmering world, life has evolved two incredible and totally opposite strategies to win. On one hand, you could just become completely see-through, like the ghostly glass squid. You just vanish into the gloom. Or you can do the exact opposite. You can produce your own light through a cool chemical reaction called bioluminescence. But wait a second. How does making light help you hide? And what do you do when a predator is looking up from the depths, searching for your dark silhouette against that faint shimmer of the surface way, way above? This is where things get really ingenious. These creatures use a trick called counter-illumination. They have light-producing organs on their bellies, and they can adjust the brightness to perfectly match the light coming from above. So by making light, they erase their own shadow. They become completely invisible. It's camouflage by becoming a lamp. The Twilight Zone is also home to the planet's single greatest spectacle. Every single night, billions of creatures, squid, fish, jellies, they all rise toward the surface to feed, and then they sink back down when dawn comes. This is the largest migration on Earth, and it's so dense that during World War II, sonar operators thought they were seeing a mysterious seabed that moved up and down each day. But the Twilight Zone is just the beginning. As we go deeper, we leave the very last bits of sunlight behind. Once we pass 1,000 meters, we enter a realm of absolute total darkness, the Midnight Zone. We are now in a world of endless night. The pressure here is crushing, hundreds of times greater than at the surface, and the water is just barely above freezing. In an extreme environment like this, evolution gets really, really creative. In this pitch blackness, there's a silent war going on between predator and prey, and the weapons are just astonishing. You've got the dragonfish, which uses a secret red light that only it can see. It's like a sniper with night vision goggles. Then there are fish with ultra-black skin that absorbs nearly all light, making them almost impossible to see. And of course, the famous anglerfish, dangling its glowing lure to trick its next meal. But as fascinating as that lure is, the anglerfish's biggest, most bizarre secret isn't how it hunts. It's how in the world it finds a mate in this vast, empty darkness. It's one of the most extreme adaptations in the entire animal kingdom. So a tiny male anglerfish has one mission in life: find a female. When he finally does, he bites her. And then their bodies literally fuse together. His eyes, his internal organs, they all just dissolve away until he is nothing more than a permanent, living sperm sac, forever attached to her, getting all his nutrients from her blood. Okay, leaving the Midnight Zone behind, we're descending even further, past 4,000 meters. We are now approaching the very bottom of the ocean. Welcome to the abyssal plain.
This huge, muddy desert covers more than half the surface of our planet, and it looks totally barren. But down here, with almost no food and extreme cold, a strange evolutionary rule seems to take over. A lot of the creatures grow to enormous sizes.
And the scale of this deep-sea gigantism is just mind-boggling. The common isopod, a little guy about the size of your thumb, becomes the giant isopod, which can be the size of a small dog. Tiny amphipods become giants that are longer than a human hand. The big question of why this happens, well, it remains one of the deep sea's greatest unsolved mysteries. And beyond the abyss, you have the trenches, the deepest places on Earth. This is the Haddle Zone. Down here, snailfish, with these soft, gelatinous bodies, somehow survive pressure that would instantly crush a submarine. And yet, even at the very bottom of the Mariana Trench, almost 11,000 meters down, we found a really sobering sign of our own impact: plastic fibers inside the bodies of tiny crustaceans. It's a reminder that no part of our planet is untouched by us. So as we return to the surface, we bring back this incredible appreciation for the diversity of life down there. But honestly, we also bring back more questions than answers. The deep sea is still our planet's great unknown. Look at this. We've only mapped about 20% of the ocean floor and really explored a tiny fraction of that. A full 80% is still a complete mystery. We've barely even scratched the surface of a world that is just teeming with secrets. And so many basic questions are still on the table. Like, what's the evolutionary reason for deep-sea gigantism? Is it a defense, a way to save energy, something else entirely? The truth is, we still don't know for sure. And what about all that light? Bioluminescence is the most common form of communication on the entire planet, a silent, secret language of light. And yet, we are just beginning to understand the complex signals they're using for hunting and mating and hiding in the deep. Which, of course, leaves us with the biggest question of all. For every single bizarre creature we've discovered, scientists believe there are dozens, maybe hundreds more we haven't found yet. So what else is waiting for us down there in that vast, unexplored darkness? And as we keep exploring, what's our responsibility to protect this incredibly fragile and mysterious world?